Boy, do we have a good one for you guys. We're going to talk Fougeres today, which I got to be honest, I'm starting to get a soft spot for Fougeres. Ever since I got introduced to the Bentley line and started visiting some OG lines of fragrance, man, obviously we don't want to smell like old men here. You know what I'm saying? I'm 35. I'm in the highlight of my life, I feel. In terms of vibrancy, being old but feeling young, you know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to appreciate the finer things in life, but also in an odd way, as I age, I appreciate the simple things in life, like classic Fougere. I typically like my Fougeres to just be either super high quality ingredients and clean and crisp without smelling old, or I like this category in my head that I've dubbed modern Fougere, which is where they take a modern concept and infuse it in the latter in terms of composition. This is an absolute banger that shocked me. So strap up and let's go for a ride. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I'm your host for the evening. Today, from the house of, I guess, Guy LaRoche, maybe? This is Drakkar Intense. Now, look at this bottle if you can see it. A lot of my writing and lettering, sorry I don't have autofocus, this is all manual, but a lot of my writing is already faded off even though I got a brand new bottle. So I don't know if this has just been sitting around or getting banged up a lot, but man, this bottle has been destroyed. 100 ml. What are we talking about here? Guys, we are talking about amber. We are talking about woods. We are talking about classic Fougere with a heavy emphasis on warm, slightly spicy, fresh spicy, amber, woods, even a little rumminess. I don't know, or not rumminess, but booziness. I don't know if rum's the right word because this stays very much clean shaven man. It's not super sweet. It's just ambery, savory sweet, if that makes sense. But man, is this a banger. This isn't truly an initial thoughts because we've already done a review of this on Hot Takes. After my Hot Takes review, I said, I gotta have a bottle. If I ever come across Drakkar Intense, I'm gonna buy it. And very quickly, I came across it. So, yeah, it's somewhat redundant that I'm revisiting it. But hey, guys, I don't care. I wanted to do an in-depth review because, quite frankly, I think that this was one of those testers that really blew me away. It's an extremely old type of DNA, so it should be old manish, but with the addition of just a hyper amount of amber and slight booze and the sophistication going on in the background, this very much has a modern twist on classic Fougere. And what a sleeper for $20. Drakkar Regular and Drakkar Noir have a kind of very clean-shaven man. Matter of fact, let me go grab even Noir, for instance, very much has this aftershave jelliness to it that's very kind of like fresh green, almost like fresh pine needles and woods type of vibe. You know, a very clean shaved man, little mint, little aromatic to it. Drakkar takes the original Drakkar Intense takes the original Drakkar DNA. It's not like Noir. It takes the original DNA and just super ambers it up, warms it up, puts some spices in there, puts some woods, not pepper spice, but just some slight zing to it, and almost has a Bentley Intense, maybe like 1/10 of what Bentley for Men Intense is that dropper of booze on this. If you put your nose really close to it, it's a more manly, more classic wood, Palo Santo-y type approach to what Bentley for Men Intense did. So if you like Bentley for Men Intense, or maybe you want to like Bentley for Men Intense, but it's too sweet, it's got an ambery, rummy booze to it, but it's still kind of, it's almost like a modern Fougere in a sense. But It's just got such a overly sweet emphasis on booze and amber. This is the grown-up classic man take that's giving modern Fougere more manliness, like more assertive manliness, and not necessarily like just this overly sweet guy. But I do think Bentley for Men Intense like has its place. But as much as the reviewers online say that they love it, I think if you put your nose to Drakkar Intense, you'd actually love it incredibly amount more, because it isn't as daring. It's just that robust man, but still modern, because, you know, warm, spicy amber, you know, if John Wayne had a fragrance and he was like reincarnated as a 20-year-old man in 2025, this would be, you know, John Wayne's type of fragrance. When you go into a luxury barber where they're doing the clean shave and everything, I want this in the air. This is, again, this captures classic Fougere and transports you with a little bit more modern touches and sophistication. For 20 bucks, this is a banger, guys. It's not just fresh, clean shave. It is a cologne. You know what I'm saying? It does wear like fragrance due to the complexity and the amber and slight touch of booze and spiciness. It's checking all the boxes. It feels linear at first, but then when you put your nose to it and get past kind of the amber and the slight booze and the slight spice, you just really appreciate this formulation. Honestly, I think if you're over the age of 22, maybe, this is a must-have. Blind buy must-have, because what it's going to provide to your collection is a very blind buy, blind grab, always go outside any season, any reason, and feel like a man's man, like you have a job, you don't get fired often, you're on the roll, you're on the runnings to become more manly, more successful, more driven. This is power in a bottle. This is sophistication in a bottle. It's got old soul to it, but in a new outfit. I just can't talk about this fragrance enough. We're not even going to go to Fragrantica because I feel like I've described this perfectly for you. Classic, woodsy, frothy, expensive shaving cream-esque, but then like 20-30%, but then 70% doused in a warm, slightly fresh, spicy, hot amber, with a touch of like a boozy note in it, though I don't think you'll find that on Fragrantica. I want to say 10 out of 10, guys. I want to say 10 out of 10 for its category, but I know I can't. Hold on a second. This is a hydrogen water maker. You put water inside of this, and then you hit this button, and it infuses hydrogen molecules into it. It's supposed to speed up recovery, hydrate you better, make your tissues be able to absorb the water more, helps you sleep better, just hydrates the body in a very expedited way. And this has just been an absolute gem. I've been parched, so I had to refuel a little bit. But yeah, I hate to say 10 out of 10 because in the arena of fragrance, it's a little too simple for that. But I think in comparison to all fragrance, you can comfortably call this a 8 or a 9 out of 10. But when we talk Fougere and the boxes that I want checked in Fougere category, and it's compared to those fragrances, I have to at least give it a 9. And just due to personal bias, I'd give it a 10. Why do I give it a 10? Uniqueness, density, performance. You know, you're going to get 8+ hours out of this fragrance. I don't know if it's beast mode, but maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10 in terms of projection and longevity. It projects. It's manly. It's got dimension. It's a conversation starter. It's clean. It's highly universally versatile. Any season, any reason. It's so easy for me to grab this fragrance. I mean, I'll put it on right now. I mean, it's just, oh, this is manliness, guys. To a young kid, young kids wouldn't understand the value of this type of fragrance. As a young guy, if I'm going to tell you young people, if you're under 22, buy the fragrance for $20. Because even if you don't like it, when you hit about 22 and you need to start wearing some more upscale dress, you need to have occasions and categories in your mind. You want to start getting some hair on your chest. You want to go the extra mile to impress that girl. You want to go to the family occasions, and when they look at you, they smell you and say, oh, my boy's going in the right direction. He's growing up. This will eventually have crazy utility in your collection. And for $20, it's just, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't have this in your collection. I love the modern twist and update that they gave the original Drakkar. I think Noir even has a place, to be quite honest. It's a little more classic Fougere to me, even though I'm holding the aftershave, not necessarily the actual fragrance. They smell very close. This feels more classic Fougere with no real modern twist, and I think this will still rock today as just a clean, fresh, manly fragrance. But with the amber and the booze and fresh spice that you get with this, it adds that dimension that takes it out of Fougere and goes Fougere with charm and uniqueness, but has the classic man DNA all over it. Guys, what are we waiting for? I found mine in Burlington, but I've seen it in Ross, TJ Maxx, and Burlington, Ross, TJ Maxx, I've seen it in. You're going to find it all over online. I find that typically this is listed for like $25 to $35 online. I find that Ross and Burlington are going to try to sell you this fragrance for between $25 and $35. The cheapest I've seen it so far is in TJ Maxx, actually. But you have to find it behind the glass. Behind the glass case, I see this fragrance listed for $19.99. So that might be where you start, unless you're not really tripping over an extra $5 or $10. And even then, I would still pick it up. Crazy utility, crazy value. I think this is a sleeper for people. If you're a man's man and you're into the finer things in life and you have the money and you've got a great fragrance collection, you might not want to go back to something like this. But to be honest, this is a staple. This is a staple fragrance. You know, yeah, I think I've exhausted myself of the emotion and the facts that I wanted to convey for this fragrance. But I just, again, as I get older in life, I appreciate the simplicity of a fragrance like this because it gives me that old school barbershop feel in a modern way and has dimension, but ultimately is still very simple. Fresh, spicy, amber, slightest booze, woods. Like, I'm going to stop smelling it. I need to get my hands off it. I'm smelling myself because I sprayed myself. Go out and get you guys Guy LaRoche's Drakkar Intense for $20-$30 and call it an absolute day. 100 ml. Let me know if you have this fragrance in the comments below. Am I tripping, guys? Truthfully, am I tripping? Do you have this fragrance? Do you want this fragrance? Sound off in the comments below. Until next time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. You know I'm a robot at the end of these videos. I'm a running script. But truthfully, if you watch my content, guys, please, like, turn on the notification bell. Like, right now. Because it helps me out. It also gives me some analytics to track. But you'll be informed. If you like my content, why don't you inform yourself of when my content's available? Don't put the extra pressure on yourself to have to go on YouTube and find me. YouTube algorithm is funny. Sometimes you're going to see me a lot if you watch me, and then you'll find sometimes you don't see me at all, but that's because the algorithm is looking at other interests you have and prioritizing other content. But you might want to see the fact that I drop episodes every single day. And you might be the type of person that literally, just because you waited from Monday to Thursday, you missed 3 videos. Well, what if I'm talking about a fragrance you've had your eye on? Stop playing around and turn on that notification bell. And if you're new to the channel, this is where all the information is at. I love this stuff. Be blessed. Have a great week. Signing off.